Again, I'm KMTB Ganegoda. Today we are going to discuss how to prepare a Bill of Quantity (BOQ) using MS Project software. Now we will go to the software. Here we are on the software. So we have a project, say, just assume with 6 number of items, and our project start date is just assume May 1st, 2020. So accordingly, my prepared program is like this: view entire project. So after planning, so now I have completed the time planning part of the project. Then now we have schedule, we have to assign the resources. So I have to move to the resource sheet. Under the resource sheet, if you assume this is to be a construction project, say it is a building project, so you can have resources, say cement, and it can have sand, aggregate, and say bricks. And there can be many more items than this, but for time being I will. But another one, of course, reinforcement steel, say steel, and of course these are material resources. Apart from these material resources, we can have work resources as well, say skill labor and unskilled labors. Those are work items, work resources. At the same time, we can have cost resources as well. Say, for example, electricity bill or water bill, or maybe some taxes or penalties, taxes or some fee or charge which you can have to pay at the gate, or a kind of a resource that you cannot measure by quantities, or else which you can easily measure by in cash from monetary wise. So here, say electricity. So that is a cost resource. Cost resource. And here maximum availability, I just assume there are, say, 10 number of 10,000% work resources. And if there are 10 number of unskilled laborers, then again it is. So always you have to put the work resources in percentages. That is the availability. The cost, of course, it depends on the task. Now I will change the currency to suit to Sri Lanka. Going to the option under schedule, under display, it has LKR, Sri Lanka rupees. Okay. And now the cement, that is in bags. Sand in meter cube. Aggregate also in meter cubes. Bricks in numbers, say steel in kilogram. Skill labors, you can't put any units here. And then standard rates. Cement, say 1,000 rupees per bag. 1 meter cube of sand, just assume it is 6,000. Aggregate, say 8,000. Brick, say 20 rupees. Steel 1 kilogram, just assume 1 kilogram to be 100 rupees. And here the skill labor. Per hour, skill labor, say 350 rupees. 350 rupees. For unskilled labor, just assume it is 300 rupees. Okay, now we have prepared our resource sheet. Accordingly, we know what are the resources and its maximum availability and the standard rates as well. Now we will move again to our Gantt chart, where you are going to assign the resources. So you'll choose task A, the first task. Under the resource, we have assigned resources. So now you are going to assign the resources to each of these tasks. You just assume the task A with its nature, it needs some amount of aggregate. Say it needs 3 meter cube of aggregate, and say it need again 4 cement bags and 1 sand, 1 meter cube of sand, and it needs skill labors. Say 2 skill labors, then again 200% per day, and here again unskilled labor, say for 400. So once you assign, we will discuss on another day how we can assign the resources, especially the work resources, because you will get this pop-up, so you have to select the correct one, increase the amount of work, but keep the same amount. But today we are going to discuss how we can prepare the bill of quantity. So after assigning this, I will move to the next item, task B. There I just assume it needs again 3 number of cement bags and say 2 sand meter cubes, and skill labor, say 3 skill labors, unskilled labors 6, and it has the electricity bill. So the cost for this particular task is 1,000 rupees. Right. Then we move to task C. Just assume it needs bricks, say 1,000 bricks. In bonding bricks, so you need 5 cement bags and 2 meter cube of sand, and here skill labor, you need 2 skill labors, then you have to assign it as 200%. Unskilled labor, say 400%. So here you will get, always you get the pop-up when you assign the work resources, especially on the second one, but you have to, there you have to select the increased amount of work, but keep the same amount of duration. So for this particular example, we have to select that one in the pop-up, but we will discuss on another day why this pop-up comes and how we can tackle with this pop-up based on our requirement. But please understand, today we are going to discuss only the BOQ part, how we can prepare the bill of quantity on MS project. And you move to the task D. Just assume it needs sand, 5 meter cube of sand, and it needs some electricity as well. Say the cost of the electricity is 100,500, and skill labor and unskilled labor. It's kind of laying preparation of a compacted land or something. So skill labor, we need say 3 skill labors and 6 unskilled labors. Right. Again, we got the pop-up. You can see here it shows the resources are going more than its limit. So I will correct this later, and I will move to the next task E, assign resources. So it needs, just assume some skill labor of 3 skill labors and 5 unskilled labors only. For task B, assume it needs 2 cement bag, 2 meter cube of aggregate, and here skill labor, 3 skill labors and 6 unskilled labors. Right. Now you can see here it shows the resource is overallocated. That means when you go to resource graph, you can see we have assigned resources more than its availability. So what I'm going to do here, I will just go to resource sheet and increase the availability of material, the labors. Say for unskilled labor, I assume there are 20 number of unskilled labor, so then it is 100%. Now it is done. So we have MS program in which all the resources are assigned. So if you assume that we have assigned all the resources here for each and every task, so this is the best position for us to prepare the bill of quantity, because we know what are the cost of each and every item and its breakdown as well. So here I'm going to insert the cost column. Cost, you can see the cost of the project. So what I'm going to do here, I will fix the baseline so that the baseline cost will not change. So you can see here the baseline cost as well. And I'll introduce here another, so here, of course, here I'll introduce another column, a number column, custom column, say number 10. That is unit column. Of course, it is quantity column, QT, quantity column. Before the quantity column, I need text column for units. This is units column, unit quantity, and here I need another number, say cost column for rate. This is for rate. These are the element of general bill of quantity. And here I'm going to have the amount column, which is of course same as the baseline cost. So I just insert the baseline cost column and I rename it as amount. Okay, now we have all the elements of a bill of quantity. So here you can insert work breakdown structure column so that you get all the, say, the coding 1 and so 1, 2, 3. To make this example with more detail, I will here insert one task and here say it is foundation work. And here just assume this task as superstructural work, or else say yeah, superstructure. Superstructure. Then I indent this task under foundation and superstructure. So you can see here what I want to show you under the WBS. You can see the coding of each and task is shown there. In addition to that, you can move to the format, and here you can touch the select the outline number. Then it shows the outline numbers on the task name itself. So in this case, you can hide this WBS column. However, now we have all the tasks and we have the cost. Here I'm going to insert the units of each and every item. Say this is a kind of plastering, kind of rubble masonry work, so that the unit is meter cube. And here just assume this is concreting type of work, so it is again meter cube. Say this is steel work, so that steel, say a kind of steel work, so I can put the quantity to be kilogram. And you just assume this is again a masonry type of work, say brick wall or something. So then again it can be meter cube, and say this is meter square meter, the type of work. and say this is a linear meter, or say numbers. This is calculated in numbers. And the quantities, you just assume here the quantity is 12 numbers. And here the quantity is say 8 numbers, again 5 numbers, here 6 numbers, 8 numbers, 10 numbers. These are the quantities. So now we are going to prepare the bill of quantities so that we have the description. So I can rename this task name as description. Right. So now we have the description, unit, quantity, rate, amount. Now we have to find the rate. Rate in the sense the division of amount by the quantity. So I will go to here, right click, and I get the custom. I'm going to customize this field and put a formula. The formula is field. Under field you can go to the cost and baseline cost. That is the amount of cost. That the total cost divided by field number. Under custom number you have quantity column. So then make it okay. Right. Okay. So here the BOQ, bill of quantity. Now you have the rates and you have the amount as well. And we have to write indent all these. So field for setting, not left but right. Okay. All the cost column should be in right side indent. And here also field setting again right. Okay. So now we have BOQ for the project. So now you can just go to the reports. Under cost report, you can go to the cash flow report and see how the cash flow. So you don't have to deal with Excel. Here MS project itself, if you can assign all the resources here, it gives us the detail for the BOQ or the bidding document itself. So here time, daily, days. So here we have the S curve, the cash flow forecast of the project or the cash flow. This is the cash flow of the project. Now here, of course, we haven't considered any markup, profit and overhead to these items. So we have to tackle this profit and overhead percentage, say 25%, tactfully. We have the tools in MS project, but we should be able to use them tools in order to achieve our requirement. Now here the shown the cash flow is without markup or profit and overhead. So here, of course, we have to include them as well into this. So these are base cost without profit and overhead. So what I'm going to do here, now there's a column called fixed cost under MS project. So when you add something to this fixed cost column, say for example, so I add here, say 50 cents. So what you can see here, of course, if I get the cost column here, you can see whatever I am adding to here, it is automatically added to the cost column, right? If I delete whatever in the fixed cost column, it is already deducted from the cost column. So what I can do, of course, if I can add the 25% markup of each and every task here in the bill of quantity onto this fixed cost column, what the system does, it automatically add that portion into the each and every task. So then you will get the cost including profit and overhead. So what I can do, first I insert here another number column and I rename it as 25%, say profit and overhead Why we are doing this? Of course, the computer draws the cash flow forecast or the cash flow only for the cost column. So we have to add our profit and overhead into this cost column through the system. Then we will get our the cash flow including markup or the including 25% of profit and overhead. So here I'm going to find what are the 25% overhead for each and every item. So I have to write another formula here to this column. Formula field under cost. I will select the baseline cost. That should be multiplied by 0.025. Then you will get the 25% markup for each and every task. Okay. So you don't want to select this one, the summary task. You don't want to add, of course. You just forget about the summary task under VOQ. And then make it okay. And then you have all the figures. I mean the 25% of project and profit and overhead cost of each and every task. Then you just copy this all from here and paste on the fixed cost column. So before pasting in MS Project, you have to make all the tasks manual schedule. Otherwise, the MS Project has a nasty habit of changing all the durations and that and this. When you copy and paste on the MS Project without putting all the tasks onto manual schedule, and then I'm going to copy all this from here, copy onto the fixed cost column, right? Now all these are added to, then now I will make them all auto schedule. Now all these are added to the cost column. Now see, the earlier the figure is this one. Now of course the figure is this one, because this plus the 25% markup, you will get this one. Now I want to put this onto baseline column. Once you put the cost column onto the baseline column, then automatically you get the rates with profit and overhead. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to fix the baseline again. Go to set baseline, okay, right. Now you see what has happened. Now our amount or the baseline column figures are almost equal to the cost column. Now of course we don't need these columns hereafter. You can of course delete all these because already it is added. Of course you can delete the profit and overhead column, and here now you can delete the fixed cost column and all other profit and overhead columns. Of course, when you delete the fixed cost column, the amount is deducted from the cost column as well. So if necessary, you can keep it as it is. However, the baseline cost won't change even though you delete the fixed cost and especially the fixed cost. Right, the cost can be changed. That is the nature of the project. MS Project is prepared for us to display the actual cost at that instant. So that is why the cost column is changing always with all the changes. But we have the baseline cost, there's the contract cost contractually. So this is the baseline cost. So based on the baseline cost, which is including the profit and overhead, we have this amount column. Accordingly, we have the rate, which is including again profit and overhead. So I will hide these columns. And if I take this to here, so now I have the bill of quantity, including rate, amount. So I can rename it as amount, 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 including, say, plus profit and overhead, profit and overhead. Profit and overhead. Here's the rate also including profit and overhead. This is how we can prepare a bill of quantity, maybe including profit and overhead or without profit and overhead in MS project. So next time we will discuss another item on MS project, how we can apply the MS project in project management. And thank you very much.